This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the regular meeting of Mayor and Council of the Borough of Glassboro for May 12th, 2020 to order. Karen, could you please read the opening statement?
Yes, Mayor. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, I hereby announce that adequate notice of this meeting as required by said act has been provided by adopting a schedule of regular meetings for the year 2020, which schedule was posted on the Borough Hall Bulletin Board as well as the Borough website and forwarded to both the South Jersey Times and the Sentinel of Gloucester County and filed with the Borough Clerk on January 4th, 2020.
Thank you. We all rise and salute the flag that's behind Karen. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Karen, could you please have roll call, please?
Mayor Wallace,
Here.
Mr. Casabone,
Present.
Mr. D'Alessandro,
Here.
Mr. Fiola,
Here.
Mr. Halter,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Present.
Mrs. Spence,
Here.
Mr. Melandro,
Here.
I'm going to take
Mr. Scafidi,
Here.
I'm leaving. What?
Mr. Scafidi,
Here.
and Mr. Brunemer.
Here.
Thank you. We have no proclamations or presentations this evening. So at this time, I'd like to turn the meeting over to our borough solicitor.
Thank you, Mayor. We have a couple ordinances on for a public hearing. The first being ordinance number 20-10, an ordinance approving the application and financial agreement for a long-term tax exemption with Poplar Square Urban Renewal LLC for block 49.03, lot 1 in the Borough of Glassboro. Council so moves for the public hearing.
Move for approval.
Second.
Hearing.
I have a motion by President Casabone. I have a second by Councilwoman Spence. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That motion carries. The floor is now open for anyone from the public who wishes to address this proposed ordinance.
Hearing none, I move the public portion be closed and the ordinance adopted as written.
Second.
I have a motion by Council President Casabone, seconded by Councilwoman Miller. Karen, roll call, please.
Mr. Casabone,
Yes.
Mr. D'Alessandro,
4.
Mr. Fiola,
4.
Mr. Halter,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
4.
Mrs. Spence.
4.
Motion carries.
Mayor, next, we have ordinance 20-11. Before I read it, I would ask that Councilman D'Alessandro, Councilwoman Spence would abstain on this one. With that said, we have an ordinance authorizing conveyance of lots 66 through 70 and block 194, lots 1 through 17 and block 211, lot 1 and block 21201, lot 41 and block 213, lot 1 and block 213.01, and lots 19 through 36 and block 214 to the County of Gloucester from the Borough of Glassboro for the construction of the County 641 spur, also known as Dr. Leo J. McCabe Boulevard, extension in the Borough of Glassboro. Again, this would be the motion to open to the public. We're here.
Make the motion we open to the public.
Second.
I have a motion by Council President Casabone, seconded by Councilman Fiola. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That motion carries. The floor is now open for anyone from the public who wishes to address this proposed ordinance.
Hearing none, I move the public portion be closed and the ordinance adopted as written.
Second.
I have a motion by Council President Casabone, seconded by Councilman Fiola. Karen, roll call, please.
Mr. Casabone,
Yes.
Mr. D'Alessandro,
Abstain.
Mr. Fiola,
4.
Mr. Halter,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
4.
Mrs. Spence.
Abstain.
Thank you.
Thank you. That motion carries.
Next, Mayor, we have ordinance 20-12, an ordinance adopting a redevelopment plan for block 362.01, lots 7.01, and block 363, lots 1.01, 1.02, 1.03, and 1.04 in the Borough of Glassboro. This is as to the Sophomore Village project. Council moves for the public hearing.
Move the public portion be open.
Second.
I have a motion by Council President Casabone, seconded by Councilwoman Miller. All those in favor state aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? That motion carries. The floor is now open for anyone from the public who wishes to address this proposed ordinance.
Hearing none, I move the public portion be closed and the ordinance adopted as written.
Second.
I have a motion by Council President Casabone, seconded by Councilwoman Miller. Karen, roll call, please.
Mr. Casabone,
Yes.
Mr. Delisandro,
4.
Mr. Fiola,
4.
Mr. Halter,
Yes.
Ms. Miller, Ms. Miller,
I think we lost her again.
I would
Mrs.
say you can move
Spence.
on. Mayor.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, I heard Councilwoman Miller's vote.
Okay.
All right, we have Councilwoman Spence's vote.
Yes, Mayor.
Nice, thank you. That motion carries. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meetings of April 14th, 2020 and April 28th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilwoman Spence, seconded by Councilman Fiola. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Mr. Mayor, I'm going to be abstention on the 28th minutes.
Abstention is noted. Any other abstentions? That motion carries. Karen, do we have any communications?
Yes, Mayor, I have one communication. I have a letter of resignation for Les Vale, who was on the Glassboro Planning Board.
You need a motion
motion
to
to
approve?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
I'll make that motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Council President Casabone, seconded by Councilwoman Spence. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That motion carries. Committee reports. Let's start with Council President Casabone.
I have nothing at this time, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Councilman Delisandro.
I have nothing at this time.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Fiola.
Nothing, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Councilman Halter.
Nothing this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much, sir. Councilwoman Miller.
Mayor, Councilwoman Miller's having some problems. She's going to be calling in. She did cast her vote on the last ordinance. I think you got it as a 4. So I've just sent her the call-in number and the access code with it. So hopefully she'll be joining shortly. She can't hear right now.
Okay, we will have to move forward. I can revisit her committee report if she has any, if she signs back in.
That would be good.
And Councilwoman Spence.
I just want to say I was in receipt of the April construction report, and I just want to thank Clark Pierpont and Terry Fanfurlo and Ray DeClaudio and Katie Harrell for all the various inspectors for keeping the borough's code enforcement, construction, zoning, and permits office running as smoothly as possible during this time. And they're all doing an exceptional job. And I just want to say thank you to Les Vale for his longtime service to the planning board. We're going to miss him, and I wish him all the best.
Thank you, Councilwoman. That was very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Did Councilwoman Miller make it back?
Yes, I'm back.
There she
All right,
is.
Councilwoman. Do you have a committee report?
I'd just like to announce that the parks are currently open, so you can walk and social distance, but the playground equipment and the ball fields have not been open yet, but you do have access to go out to the parks and walk around with your families.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman. Very good. We have no unfinished business. Karen, do we have any new business?
Yes, Mayor. I need a motion to approve New Jersey State Firemen's Association membership application for Joshua J. Lee.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion by Council President Casabone, seconded by Councilman Halter. All those in favor state aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions?
This conference will now be recorded.
That motion carries. Engineers report, please, Mark.
He's muted.
Sorry about that. Yes, the Camelot punch list work completes is under completion. They've done the majority of the landscaping. They'll be back out towards the end of this week and early next week to finish up the street trees. They have about 2,000 street trees, a little over 2,000 street trees to replace, a few bushes, and then they'll be wrapped up with that. After that work's completed, they're gearing up to come in and do their punch list work for various cracked sidewalk or a little bit of curb work here or there and some flat areas and some paving to get that done, and then looking to be paving after Memorial Day with those. Poplar Street, the building is proceeding. I talked with them earlier this week. Site improvements as far as the final sidewalk areas and parking lot areas will probably be under construction in June. For those, they'll coordinate road closures with the police department on that. With respect to Redmond Avenue, the phase 2 work, we have a pre-construction meeting on Tuesday, May 19th at 1 o'clock. We've invited the hotel, next staff, university staff, contractor and borough staff to attend with that. So we'll be finalizing any details there. Contractors indicated he'll be out there starting no later than June 1st. You will see some apparatus. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but he will be well pointing. He'll be putting some very small 2-inch diameter wells, holes in the ground, and connecting them with hoses to help lower the groundwater out there to make the construction a little bit easier and a whole lot less muddy with those. We just received this morning the okay from the DOT to rebid Holly Bush Phase 1 DOT project. So that'll be going out to the paper. We'll finalize dates on that, and then we'll be able to have those results for your meeting on June 23rd, I believe, is the second meeting of the month for those. And other than that, I think that's about it. If there's anything else. I guess one item, I don't know if it's been, well, I guess College Town, everybody can see where it's going. All the site improvements have been along the backside, water, sewer, and storm have been installed. So they're underway taking care of the new supermarket going in because everything else is on hold due to the governor's orders. That'll be opening up at some point, and then they'll be looking to go out front to continue doing the other pad sites with those. Ed, I don't know if Hector is coordinated with you, but at this point, we've postponed the Park and Rec Golf Tournament. The county restrictions, they didn't anticipate the course being open, and of course, it's transpired this past week. But we're looking to move that from June to September 18th for those. So just an FYI there, because of the having 100 golfers, I don't think they have a carts to have 100 golfers separately versus usually the twosome per cart. So other than that, if there's any questions.
Yeah, I have one, Mark. Camelot, are they originally going to pave as it was originally planned to do the
Yes.
streets?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they've agreed to at the last we talked about it. Yes.
And don't forget the punch list for the lift station. I would like to make sure.
We were talking today, they still have one item left, and we were supposed to do the startup this week, but they're still working on the meter.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Any other questions for Mark? Thank you again, Mark. At this time, I will again turn the meeting over to our borough solicitor.
Thank you, Mayor. On our resolutions under the consent agenda this evening, we have Resolution 129, authorizing cancellation of taxes due to total disabled veteran granted, Block 197.04, Lot 125, in the amount of $2,354.37. Resolution 130, also authorizing cancellation of taxes due to a total disabled veteran granted, Block 198.03, Lot 9, in the amount of $390.39. Resolution 131, authorizing refund of street opening performance guarantee to Greg Farrar in the amount of $750. Resolution 132, authorizing a refund of street opening performance guarantee to David Charro in the amount of $750. Resolution 133, providing for the insertion of a special item of revenue in the budget pursuant to NJSA 48487, safe and secure communities in the amount of $60,000. Resolution 134, authorizing execution of First Amendment to the redevelopment agreement with Glassboro Townhouses LLC for Block 49.01, lots 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, Block 49.02, lots 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and Block 49.07, lots 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is to amend the redevelopment agreement to release the original developer, which was Glassboro Townhouses LLC, from any obligation to complete the Phase 2 project improvements, which will now be completed by Poplar Square Urban Renewal LLC. Resolution 135, authorizing execution of redevelopment agreement with Poplar Street Urban Renewal LLC for Block 49.03, Lot 1, Block 49.04, Lot 1, and Block 49.05, Lot 1. This is to acknowledge the Poplar Square Urban Renewal LLC, the redeveloper, an affiliate of Glassboro Townhouses LLC, shall develop the property. They are the resolutions this evening on our consent agenda for the reasons stated. The council so moves for approval. Roll call vote.
Move for approval.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilman Fiola, a second by Councilwoman Spence. Karen, roll call, please.
Mr. Casabone,
Yes.
Mr. Delisandro,
4.
Mr. Fiola,
4.
Mr. Halter,
Yes.
Ms. Miller, Mrs. Spence,
Yes.
That motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor. Also, I'm sorry.
Nope, go ahead, Tim, I'm sorry.
Mayor, also we have on first reading this evening by title only would be ordinance number 20-14. This is an ordinance authorizing execution of a second amendment to the purchase and sale agreement with Glassboro Real Estate Trust LLC. This would be to reaffirm the purchase price for the property, extend the closing date in the purchase agreement, acknowledge the county construction of the new spur, and conveyance of portions of the lots to the county. As to this ordinance, I would also again ask Councilman Delisandro and Councilwoman Spence to abstain, but this is the ordinance on first reading, if council so moves for introduction.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Council President Casabone, a second by Councilman Halter. Karen, roll call, please.
Mr. Casabone,
Yes.
Mr. Delisandro,
Abstain.
Mr. Fiola,
Yes.
Mr. Halter,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Spence.
Abstain.
Thank you. That motion carries. At this time, I'll take any comments from our borough administrator.
I do have a couple, Mayor. I just want to let everyone know we continue to provide all the services that we normally would. From a highway perspective, we've actually increased our services. With the warmer weather, we've brought other folks in. We are cutting grass. I think the town looks good. I cannot thank all of the employees enough. They are respecting the virus, but they are doing their job. We've had limited impact from an employee perspective in regards to the virus, which I think is outstanding. And actually yesterday, we've started talks about what it'll look like when we reopen. So that's a positive. So that's where we are, Mayor. That's basically one last thing. Mark brought up the golf tournament. Unfortunately, because of the virus, we've had to cancel the Memorial Day Parade. All events that we had planned for the month of June have either been canceled or postponed, unfortunately. And Summerfest, which we partner with Nexus takes the lead on that. Unfortunately, we had to cancel that for June and July this year as well. That's all I had, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Ed. I will hold my comments to the end. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion to open the public portion.
Move the public portion be open.
Second.
I have a motion by Council President Casabone, seconded by Councilman Fiola. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That motion carries. Before I open it up, I would like to read, we will now be moving to open the meeting for public comment. Please be advised that immediately following the motion, all lines will be administratively unmuted, and a member of our staff who has joined the meeting via the public access telephone number will provide audible confirmation that the public lines are open. If you wish to provide comment, please render your intent by stating your name and place of residence, and then confirm that mayor and council are able to hear you clearly before proceeding. If you are unable to be heard, please ensure that your phone is not physically muted. You may also control whether your phone is muted or unmuted by the teleconference system by dialing *6 on your telephone keypad. Again, that's *6 to mute or unmute your phone via teleconferencing system. Our meeting organizer has unmuted all lines within the teleconferencing system. I will now ask our staff member who has called in via the public access phone number to please confirm you are able to hear us and that we are able to hear you.
Hello, Mayor Wallace. This is John Gorski. I'm able to hear you clearly. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, John, we are able to hear you. Thank you very much. Having received confirmation that these lines are open and able to be heard, we now await comment from anyone who wishes to speak. If no comment is heard, after a full 30 seconds has passed, we will move to close the public portion. So now, at this time, the public portion is now open.
Well, hearing none, I move the public portion be closed.
Second.
Guess that's 30 seconds.
I have a motion by Council President Casabone, a second by Councilman Fiola. All those in favor state aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? That motion carries. The public portion is now closed. To approve all duly authorized bills.
Move that all duly authorized bills be paid. Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Fiola. I have a second by Councilman D'Alessandro. All those in favor state aye.
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 Opposed?
Yeah, Mayor, let the records reflect I abstain on PO number 20-01342.
Mayor, let the record reflect that I also abstain on 20-00414.
Any other abstentions? They have been noted. That motion still carries. Before I ask for adjournment, I would just like to parrot what our borough administrator has said and what we have both been saying over the past few council meetings that we've been doing virtually. That we commend all of you council, staff, administration, employees, even our residents for in these trying times. Everybody has been very patient and very compliant. And because of that, if you're following the numbers, our numbers are extremely low compared to other municipalities of our size, including that university that we have in our municipality as well. So thank you to all. Keep up the great work, and hopefully this will pass sooner rather than later. And with that, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Council President Casabone, a second by Councilwoman Spence. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? And motion carries. This meeting is now adjourned. Everybody, please have a safe and enjoyable evening. Our next regular meeting will be scheduled for May 26, 2020 at tentatively 8 p.m. Everyone have a good evening. Please be safe.
You too, John.
You too, Mayor.
Hey, everybody.
Good night.